Welcome, guys. As you enter, please share out the broadcast. Welcome, Mystical Pause, Remasked. How you guys doing? Not a problem, Remasked. That's not a problem. Amy, hello. Welcome. Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for sharing the broadcast out. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. Thank you, Remasked. Thank you for the 50, Remasked. Thank you. Have a good night, Remasked. Have a good night. As we enter, if you could share out the broadcast, it'd be greatly appreciated. Boy, do we have an amazing show for you guys tonight, and one topic that's going to probably be pretty hard for a lot of people, but it needs to be reported, and you're going to hear it here first. Hey, we got Trouble in the audience. How you doing? Mystical Pause is on a roll. You remembered my motto. Awesome, awesome. We're going to be beginning shortly, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. We have 3 amazing topics. We have a guest coming on tonight from the film industry. Definitely going to be really good. Alright, everybody, welcome to Definitive Talk. Tonight, we have 3 pretty interesting topics to discuss. We have a film student involved in the film industry that's going to be our guest tonight. She is an amazing person, and she's extremely funny, too. And we'll get into more of that as we get her on the show. We're also going to be talking tonight, just to make sure everybody is up to speed on the recently distributed new rules and guidelines by the company, and I believe they were posted August 28th. So that is yet a second update to the rules and guidelines. So we're going to go over those, make sure everybody knows, and yeah. Also, we also have another topic that I don't believe has been discussed by anybody. I don't even believe that this company is aware that anyone knows what they're doing. I don't know if you've seen in the opening credits, there is a lot of allegations with a company that deals with animals. And, you know, a lot of us, including myself, I am an owner. I have a pit bull, and my pit bull was a rescue. Not going to get on that story because it's pretty sad. But, yeah, there's a lot of animal lovers that I have encountered on the platform. And if you saw the Twitter post, this story may actually break to be a national story. So it's going to be pretty hot. But first and foremost, like I said, welcome everybody to the show. And thank you so much, Remasked, Amy, everyone that is gifted, everyone that has shared out the broadcast. If you've not shared out the broadcast, please do so. Let everybody know you're here. And, yeah. So, Miss Transgender, you love cats. Yeah, you have 9 of them. Wow. Wow. I do have, well, not me. My family has cats, so I can't have them because I'm allergic to them. So, yeah. This company, by the way, does also have cats. So, definitely, it's a sad story, but it's also a story that angers me very, very, very much. But we will get there. We will get there. And, you know, if you guys have questions while we're, you know, going on the show here, please let me know and put it in the chat, and we will definitely, wow, that just slipped my head. We will definitely get them on and answered. Also, we may do some guest sessions as well if there's anybody that so chooses to do so. Excuse me. So, our first guest we are waiting for, if you are in the audience, I don't want to say the name wrong. Is it Nahal? If you are in the audience, if you could put something in the chat. I don't think you're here as of yet, but that is okay. I know there is a time difference. Hopefully, she was aware of that. If it's not about loving animals, don't go there if it's sad. What do you mean, Miss Transgender? What do you mean? In Mystical Pause, you might be able to answer some. Absolutely. We will definitely reach out to you if we can't answer them. Amy, you love dogs. That is awesome. That is awesome. Dirty Money, welcome as well. Welcome. Well, here's the thing, Miss Transgender. Here's the thing. It is sad. However, it's also something that is very, very angering. And if there aren't people that are going to speak on behalf of animals anywhere for any reason, you know, they can't speak. I think it's our obligation to protect them. And when that is not being done by, or allegedly, I should say, allegedly not being done by an organization that is supposed to be there to protect them, you know, then it's our job to step in, make sure it's known, and make sure that they are protected. And again, this is all allegedly, so, you know, I don't want to say that, you know, it is an actual boom, here it is. And I can tell you that I've been getting, today alone, okay, this is today alone, I have been getting numerous communications being sent into the studio about this. So, hey, you know, it's there, it happens, we need to say something about it. So why don't we just begin with that, because I'll see her come in the chat when she's here. So I will see her come in, and we will bring her in as the second guest. So a few weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, Definitive Talk was contacted, and we had someone reach out to us in regards to an organization on the East Coast who operates their, and correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone has different information that I do, that operates out of Florida, out of the state of Florida, and also has 2 locations, and they are self-proclaimed as a rescue organization. Now, this means, you know, to put it into terms, if people aren't familiar with this particular type of an organization, There are 3 locations, okay? 3 locations. If you go to the animal shelter, people surrender animals there that they can't care for, or, it could be animals that were taken from people that weren't caring for them. And, people in the public, once these animals have been examined by a doctor, have been given the proper vaccinations, and are cleared after a waiting period, and typically that is in all of our states here in this nation, they are then cleared for people like you and I to go adopt them for a small fee to help offset the costs. Shelters do not operate for free. They've got bills to pay. They've got, their electricity, their food for the animals. They have care. The doctor isn't free. There's so much that goes into it. And yes, there is a lot of volunteers that reach out. They give their time and energy because they love animals. Hey, Corey. So that's pretty much the process, the basic, in a nutshell, process of animals and shelters. Now, we have 2 different kinds of shelters or organizations. We'll call it organizations, okay? So there's 2 types. There are our regular shelters that animals are put up for adoption, and after a period of time, unfortunately, and I disagree with it, but they do what's called euthanasia. They will euthanize animals that are there for extended period of time, not after a week, or it's a long period of time if they're not being adopted. Most shelters that I am aware of will actually take an animal, let's say, that has been there for a year, and send it to a different shelter, because maybe that shelter has people that may want to adopt that particular animal. So they give these animals, rotate them, give them chances to help get adopted. Then there are other organizations, shelters, rescues that are proclaimed no kill, meaning you could have an animal there that just hasn't been adopted for years, but the animal is not euthanized, which is good. But, think about it. It's, the animal's there for extended period of time. That becomes the animal's life. The people that they associate become their family. These animals, I feel that they're overlooked a lot. Some places call it senior animal. Oh, exactly. Miss Safe just put in the chat there. Senior dog in a shelter for 7 years plus. Yeah, I agree. It is not fair. Just a quick piece of information from my situation. My dog was rescued, was picked up by animal control, and unfortunately the people that had my animal tried to fight the animal, tried to get it into dog fights to make money. And the animal, my dog, refused to do so, refused to fight. And therefore they decided that it was smart, because they didn't care, to throw the dog to the side of the road and leave him. So thank God he was picked up by animal control, checked out, and when I walked into the shelter, you know what happens. The dogs see you. They start going crazy. They're barking. It's kind of like a show. Pick me, And this dog sat there, was just watching me, and that piqued my curiosity right there. Why are you not, all high in energy? Why are you not barking? But you're looking at me. Excuse me. Woo! So I walked up to him and I read the card. He was 2 years old and was a pickup by the animal control. And when I looked at this dog, I'll give you a picture in your head. Okay, try to picture this. The dog is sitting in this cage, not barking. Just the expression on this dog's face was very sad, at least in my opinion. And I noticed that the dog, you could see all his bones, clearly was not fed by these people that abandoned it. Had numerous scars. Thank you, Kyle. Numerous scars from these other dogs attacking him because he didn't want to fight. And it was just very sad. And what I said to the lady that was there, I said, she knew I was there to adopt, and I said, I would like to see this dog here. And she does this. She looks at me and goes, "That dog?" And I said, "Yes, I want to see that dog." You don't want to see any of the others? I said, "Ma'am, I would like to see this dog." So she said, "All right, go in there was a room down the hall. You go in and they bring the dog to you." So I sat down on the floor, crossed my legs, and the door opens after like 5 minutes or so, and the dog casually walks in, gets in my lap, puts his head down, and that was it. And I said, "I'm going to take this dog." And she, again, with her look, says to me, You want to adopt him?" I said, "Yes, I would like to adopt him. This dog is leaving with me." She's like, "All right, are you aware?" And, she went on and on. "Hey, MMG, how are you?" So I said, "I'm aware of what happened to the dog. You've already told me." I said, "I understand. I know the breed. I know how old this dog is. Hello." So yes, I would like to adopt this dog. So I went, did the paperwork, and, the process was pretty easy. There was a fee, which I fine, because at that point, I was already committed. I was not going to say, "No, I'll think about it," or whatever. Because to me, that was putting the dog through too much. It's already been through so much for what these people did to this dog. I said, no. He's coming home with me. Well, needless to say, years later now, this dog is so loving. He's a big baby. He can be protective if he needs to be. Side note, stalker video, if you didn't see it, you might want to go check it out on my YouTube channel, because, he's very protective. My dog is at home now, but if you want to see what he looks like, go to my Instagram, because there's a picture I took outside the Brooklyn Bridge, and he's a lover. He's cute. I think everybody would like him. No, I'm in the studio right now. So he has been plumped up. He eats good. On his birthday, every year he gets a steak. I treat him with a lot of love, because clearly he had not experienced that. The scars that he had, you can't even see him anymore. His hair has grown over because he's been well taken care of. Now, this dog is one story in thousands upon thousands across this nation that go through things like this. But in his case, it turned out to be a good story. Thanks for becoming part of the family. Thank you. So, there is a flip side to that. When you go to certain places, you just know when things are not right. You know they aren't. Well, as I said, I have had a worker, actually, I'm going to say workers, plural, contact Definitive Talk from an organization that states they are a rescue of these animals. They rescue them, they adopt them out, and there are procedures in that. You heard just a little while ago a little bit about how that works. And when you go into an organization, a shelter, whatever it may be, and you're there to adopt an animal, what are you going to look for? Is the animal being taken care of? Is it a clean place? Is the paperwork that you're filling out legit, or is it is it a piece of paper that someone just said, okay, let's just jot a few things down to look official? Has the animal had their shots? Has the animal been treated and cared for by a doctor? Have all these things happen before you adopt this animal? And if the answer is yes, then you're under the impression, okay, hey, we're good to go. Now, clearly, you're going to have your own vet. Bring your animal to the vet to get a checkup and make sure everything's okay. But in this case, and I just noticed in the chat, yes, home checks, background checks, is the animal fixed? Correct. All of these things should be there. And if they're not, then that should send a red flag. Why are they not being done? Why hasn't this happened? But see, in this case, this organization, thank you so much for the 400. This organization has played some games. Yes, there's another one. How long has the animal been there and why? Now this company, hey, Mega Trouble, you're trouble. This company will do long distance transports. Now, to give you a little bit of information about this company. Now, this information I have investigated thoroughly how the company operates. Okay? And let me give you a little bit of quick back up a few steps. This was brought to Definitive Talk's attention about a month or so ago. So during this time, up into today, and including today, I've had a team going in and checking, investigating, making phone calls, talking to this company. So, how would you guys feel if you were going to adopt from the company, because you found a dog on the website that you would love to adopt, make part of your family, and you live, let's say, in Massachusetts. Remember, I said the one location is in the state of Florida. So, how would you feel if they did the long distance transport, right? They get to you, and you say, so, I just want to get a little bit more information. How is the dog with children? Does the dog have a temperament? Does it have to be the only dog? And all the information that you're getting is to your knowledge is correct. They're saying, yeah, they're fine. Yeah, they've had their shots. Yeah, everything, it's good. The dog would be good with you. Okay? And you find out otherwise after they leave. You find out maybe, is it correct? Yes, this is partially about an organization that is lying to its people adopting these animals. Usually there's a 48-hour wait when they receive an animal. At least these are things that are supposed to happen. And they don't wait. And I've got some pictures. These are not sad pictures, by the way, so don't think they are. But these are some of the animals in their shelter. Now, imagine now this shelter being like stacked to the max with these animals. Okay? Like over 100. I mean, where are you putting these animals? How are the conditions when your facility can't fit the number you have? And, you know, it is, yeah, it's alleged 300 to 500. Let me show you a picture. Exactly. This is a puzzle that, let me tell you, I have been floored after investigating this. Floored. And let me also let you guys know, yes, it was brought to Definitive Talk's attention that there is allegedly abuse, lying on paperwork, not being taken care of properly, not getting the medical care they need, not waiting the 48-hour wait period, not having certificate of operation up to date, not up to code. Okay, and that's what I was getting to with the investigation. So now we're notified. Number one, the first thing I did was notify the authorities. Okay? Because I am not a person that operates a shelter. I don't care for animals in this capacity. Okay? I am not a vet. I'm not a technician. You know, so all I can do is bring the information that I have and give it to the proper authorities, which has already happened. So that is already in the make. I don't know where at this point they are, but let me tell you, when they were notified, there was a very, very upset investigator that I spoke with. So, and the reason that clearly these allegations were brought to light was because these animals cannot speak for themselves. And that's what I was saying in the beginning of the show. You have to be the voice for these animals that need this protection, that need to be in a loving and caring place or being adopted. Yes, there's also allegations that donations aren't going to the care and well-being of these animals. Let me show you an example. Okay, this is an example of an animal that is currently in the process of being transported for adoption if somebody will adopt this animal. Now, take a look at this. And it may be a little hard to read what's on there, but there, in this description of this pretty cute bulldog, there it says adoption fee is waived, reduced price for surgery $500, and that is what we are asking from adoptee. He is adorable, isn't he? Yes, you just want to squeeze his cheeks. I mean, my God, that he looks like a snuggler, you know. $500. I don't know. I mean, is anyone in the audience here? Have you ever gone to a shelter and they charge you $500 to adopt an animal? Mind you, this company, this shelter per se, has 3 to 500 animals. Yeah. Something's just not right there. No animal rescue shelter. Exactly. And I did check into this, Mystical Paws, this $500 charge. Because that's typically not the norm. That's not something you see from a shelter who's trying to operate a no-kill shelter and trying to get these animals into loving homes. I know the shelter by me, the nearest one to me, charges you $40 fee for adoption to kind of offset the, food. And, it's not really going to do a lot. But, yeah, $500. And there's allegations currently that the money is not even going to the shelter. Thank you for becoming part of the family. Thank you. Yeah, so this is one of the dogs. Now, I do not know if this dog is a senior dog under what qualifies for a senior dog. But it just sent a red flag to me when I see this amount of money that they're asking, which it doesn't make sense. He was adopted. Wow. So that must have been recent, because I did check on him the other day. Well, I'm glad he's adopted. I'm glad he's adopted and he's out of this facility and he's in a loving home. But the thing also that the wording on this too, it had to have been today, Mystical Paws, because I did check at the beginning of, not yesterday, but the day before. The wordage, though, doesn't make sense. It says adoption fee is waived. Okay, so that means I'm not paying the adoption. Yeah, so yours was 140, here or there, 140 pounds, right. Okay. So, if the adoption fee is waived, why are you charging $500? $500 doesn't make any sense to me. Not in shelters, they cost $75. That's the fee for, yeah, I mean, okay, mine was $40 for my dog. Mine was $40. So yeah, it's give or take, I'm sure, depending where you are. Nahal, hello! Yeah, it depends, yeah. So, that was one dog, and okay, no, don't be sorry, you're up next. So, okay, so we've got this dog. Thank God he's now in a loving home. Let me show you another picture. Thank you so much for becoming part of the family. Thank you. Here's another 2 dogs. Now, I've not included any wordage on this because I am protecting the people that have reached out to us. So, that's the reason why you're only seeing their pictures. So, the dog on the right, the white dog. This dog, after looking into it, has been in this facility for a long time. This is definitely a senior dog here. And you would think that you would do everything you could to get this dog adopted. Do you know that this dog isn't eligible for any transports, any events to try to get him adopted? He's just left there. Take a look at the dog on the left. Now, I probably have approximately 100 or so pictures, because one included just about that many on one photograph. But these senior dogs aren't being shown. They're not being told that they're there. How are they going to get adopted? Let alone there is allegations that allegedly this shelter isn't taking care of them properly. So I wanted to bring this to your attention because it makes me very angry that these things are going on and this company is getting away with doing this and charging astronomical fees for dogs that just came in, not waiting the 48-hour period. Paperwork is not up to date, lying to the adoptees. So, as I said, this has been turned over to the authorities to have them deal with this situation, because clearly we don't deal with that. We just get the information and give it over to the proper people. So I will be updating you guys most certainly as how this whole thing progresses, what happens, and because they are doing transports, in different states to different states now, I'm sure in the United States at least, you guys will probably hear something about this, because there's a lot more to this that, again, is allegations, but I am not brought to light yet, because I don't want incorrect information being put out there. But most certainly, if you are adopting, make sure you're checking everything out. Make sure what you're filling out is legit. And look at the shelter itself. It breaks my heart, especially that white dog. I mean, you can see in his face. I mean, it's got to stop. These people have got to be held accountable. And these animals hopefully are going to be taken care of the proper way with the authorities that have been involved now. If you have any questions on this, please put it in the chat, and I will definitely get it answered for you. But I just wanted this to be brought to light right now, and there's so much more behind this that you guys, it's when this hits, it's going to be crazy. So, sorry, I'm getting a little choked up here. Yeah, so that is, and I'm not giving the name to this company until the allegations that are out there are factual. Okay, and I already know it is because I've gotten pictures. It's very sad, but yeah. So just make sure you guys are looking into making sure everybody is doing the right thing. These dogs and cats, they need homes. They need love just like anybody else. Ghost Bat. Some shelters, yes. This particular shelter is what's called a no-kill shelter. No-kill shelters will rotate amongst other no-kill shelters, and they have more than one location, this company. So, the one dog I showed has been there for years, yet they're not doing anything to get him adopted, and it's sad. It really is. So, sorry, that it's awful. It's awful. But we are going to move on to our special guest that we have tonight, unless anybody has any more questions. Like I said, this will be updated every single week for you guys, because this is just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, but I agree with that, Ghost Bat, but the allegations that are out there of not having proper vet care, not making sure that they wait the 48 hours to know that these animals are okay, lying to people that are adopting them, that's where all of this stuff is become very wrong. Hey, Chloe. Hey, good to see you. So our next guest, and I know I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, and I can't wait till she gets on here because I want to know how it's pronounced. She is a student, and she's with the film industry. Also, a little bit of digging. She's a singer. So, let's welcome her to the show. I'm glad that she's able to be here because I've been trying to get her on. But school and everything is hard, so we get to do this tonight. Can you type something in the chat for me? Because I don't see you in the guest queue, even though it says you're there. And we'll try to pull you in that way. While I'm doing that, how is everybody doing? I didn't ask you guys. How are you guys all doing? It's absolutely storming here. No, don't be sorry. No, we all have stuff that's going on. Don't be sorry. Why isn't it letting me guest you? Can you do me a favor? Can you exit out of the app and come back in? And I'll try again. It could be on my side because, you guys, who've been here watching my show every week, there's always something, a glitch here or there, Wow. That really choked me up, that story. Whew. Wow, it's not letting me do it. Okay, so this is what we're going to do, everybody. Because it's probably on my side, because as I'm looking at everybody's name here in the chat, your thumbnail, your picture is blank. Matthew, I don't think your show has ever gone perfect yet. There's always been at least one issue. I know, right? So I'm going to refresh so my picture will freeze, guys, but just stay right where you are, and we should be back without any problems. Please, God. Please. Please. If it does kick me off, I will just restart, and you guys just come back in. So here we go. Hello. All right, let's see. Hopefully this has worked. I see that you're back. How's everything on your screen, guys? Everything cool? Audio's good? Hopefully, right? All right, so let's try one more time. Bring her in because your pictures all came back. Oh, wait, here we go. Yes! Woohoo! Settle down there, ghost bat. Settle down. Hey!
Hi.
How are you?
I'm alright. Clearly doing university stuff, writing down my homework that I have to do.
I hate homework.
Me too.
So, how do you pronounce your name?
Nahal. So Nahal.
Nahal?
Yeah.
Awesome, okay. I was a little off with the pronunciation. So, funny story. I was going around the platform and checking people's broadcasts out. And what's up, Philip? I saw he was live and I hadn't talked to him for a while. So I pop in. And our special guest here was guesting with Philip. And it went really downhill quick. Because just to give you kind of a little tidbit, there was a video. How do I even explain this? Oh my lord. There's a video, a cartoon, of what happens when you flush crap down a toilet. Animated. And I'm not even joking. Hysterical. That's where you can find it on YouTube, guys.
No. I'll put the YouTube name.
And she's got a million of them. Oh, wait a minute, Amy, you know this video? Amy, please, you know this video. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's where you can find it on YouTube.
Oh, there you go. That's where you can find it on YouTube, guys. Oh, I told you about it. That's right. Take your poo to the loo. Oh my lord. I even told Philip I would not promote that video. But anyway, so that's
behind these. Most of them are
but that is how I met her. So funny, really funny. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Pretty intriguing with the film, being a student there and singing. Tell us all about it. Is anybody else having problems hearing?
Okay, third year student at the university.
I'm having some trouble getting your audio. It's kind of broken. Are you using an external mic? I can't get you. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop you. Can you refresh? I don't know why it's going like that. Hold on one second. Sorry. Yeah, let me drop you and then pull you back in because I could not get anything. All right, let me try again. Bring it in. Okay, let's see. I know I have one every issue.
Can you hear me?
Say it again.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can. Okay.
I have to remember this mic on here.
I don't know. It might have been the headset that you're wearing, but yeah.
It's the microphone's on here.
Okay.
This is the mic right here. Mm-hmm.
So, you're a film student. What is it? What are your goals? What is the goal that you're trying to accomplish?
Well, my main goal is I want to end up doing my master's in acting and filmmaking in California in 2 years, because I should be done my BA in 2 years. And then from there, hopefully get into acting and then start off in front of the camera and then slowly make my way to, directing and stuff and being behind the camera.
And for your schooling, have you already made any films?
Because I'm interested in both sides, in front and behind the camera.
Okay, all right. And how long have you been on YouNow? Oh, I lost you again. Let me see if I can enhance you.
Yes.
Yeah, you're frozen on mine. Could you try to unplug that device and see if that helps? Steve, can you, I believe it's on her end, but can you try to enhance her, please? Okay, try now. Ah! I have completely lost her. Oh, yes, I did. Sometimes it happens, guys. Our connections aren't good. Let me see. Let me try one other thing here. I believe what happened is your connection was very bad. Can you try to disconnect that headset and try using it without? We'll try one more time. See, it's what happens with live shows. Happens in live shows. All right, let's try again. Okay.
Am I good?
Okay, can you hear me all right?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfect, actually.
Great.
Okay, so I was getting ready to ask you the question about your singing. I noticed in your profile it said you're going to try out for The Voice.
Yeah.
And when is that going to be? That's kind of exciting.
Yeah, I sent in a video submission since I'm from Canada and I'm auditioning for The Voice US. I sent a video submission, so I'm just waiting to hear back from them. They're going to email me and let me know if I got a slot on the live auditions. And if I did, I go and do.
Yeah, I mean, that.
The ones where the coach just pressed.
Wow, it's just exciting, you know. There's a few other people on the platform that have gone through that process. I think one was America's Got Talent. A few of them, a few different ones. I know Brett Morgan auditioned, actually got a place too. So yeah, I mean that's very exciting. How long have you been singing? Oh. Oh, I think she froze again. Ah! Oh. Okay, we're going to have to see if I can reschedule. The connection is just extremely bad. Yeah, the Wi-Fi, yeah, I understand. That's okay. What I'll do is this. I will reach out to you and I will set up a different means of bringing you on. Because with the studio here, I can do different things than what YouNow's platform has. So I'll just put a layer over and we'll test it out before and bring you on. Because this is very interesting. I know a lot of people wanted to know about the film aspect of it, being as that's what a lot of them do, you know, YouTube and, you know, various other platforms. So we will do that, I promise you, and definitely get her on. But thank you anyway for coming. You know, we can't control Wi-Fi, we just can't control it, and it happens. I've had it happen one other time. So yeah, so we'll just we will get that taken care of and do that. So our third thing I wanted to talk about tonight is YouNow has updated yet again their rules and community guidelines. It was updated on August 28th of this year. Yes, exactly. I definitely want to dive into that film aspect, because that knowledge is definitely priceless for people, especially if they're working in that industry. So these community rules and guidelines had been they were updated before. And now, because, as you know, for any of you that spend any amount of time on the platform, there's a lot of things that have been taking place. One of the big things that has taken place, and it's already, a lot of people already discussed it on their shows. There's been broadcasters on YouNow that have been swatted. Now, for those that don't know what swatting is, you are live, just like now. Somebody accesses your location. They have your address. They know where you are living. And what they will do is they will contact the authorities, and they will make up a lie about something severe happening at your location. It can be anything, maybe there was a shooting or something on that lines, which is going to require the response of the authorities sending out a SWAT team. Now, this has happened to at least 2 that I know of on the platform while they were broadcasting, just like here. And as they're broadcasting, you start hearing bang, 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 bang. You enter the door, or the door is broken down, and you've got a SWAT team, and you've got them, guns drawn, heavily armed, and they don't want to hear a thing from you. They get on the ground, and, you're freaking out. The reason it's so dangerous is the fact that sometimes, you might be a person that's like, what the hell's going on? And you might quickly turn around and say, what's going on? And they think, something evasive is happening, and it escalates to a point that you may get shot. So this, like I said, happened twice. One of the broadcasters was handcuffed face down on the ground for a considerable amount of time before finding out that, hey, this is a joke. And you see some of the broadcasters, because you're still live, everyone's watching this go down, including the person that was responsible for it. And its intention is to escalate fear and a sense of control over you. So, amongst other things, YouNow has updated the rules and guidelines. And I want to make sure I go over this for you guys so that you are fully aware of what they are. And if you have questions, we'll answer them. I know one of the broadcasters has actually made a video trying to educate people. It is on YouTube. And if anyone would like to know the address, just let me know and I'll get it to you. But, okay, here it is. Be right back. You got it. What just happened here? Why is it not opening? Okay, hold on, guys. I got it on my other phone. Yeah, so this is very dangerous. Some people may have their children in the house, and it happens anywhere. It could happen in, the United States. It could happen in another country, but it happens, and it's very, very unsafe to the people that are going through this. Okay, so here are the new updates to the guidelines. And you'll know as I read this what was added due to the situations that have been going on the platform. Okay? So it starts out that YouNow is committed to maintaining a safe, inclusive community. The following standards have been established toward that and are applicable to all YouNow users. Violations of these standards may result in account suspension or a permanent ban. To protect the integrity of the community, as the provider of the service, YouNow reserves the right to suspend or remove any account at any time for any conduct that is determined to be inappropriate or harmful. So it starts off with violent behavior and or self-harm is not permitted. Safety is YouNow's top priority, and we take threats of violence and self-harm very seriously. We may ban users whose content breaches these terms and may also report it to law enforcement if we perceive a genuine risk of physical harm or a direct threat to public safety. Violent behavior includes, but is not limited to, threats to physically harm or kill others, meaning if you are on your broadcast and you say to someone in the audience, no, I'm going to kill you. This is what they're saying. Threats to hack, dox, or swat others. Does anyone have any questions about those three terms? Hack, dox, or swat. We just talked about swat. And then threats or attempts to self-harm. And again, I am monitoring the chat, so if you guys have questions, please ask. YouNow strictly prohibits threats and threats to self-harm. We encourage any user considering self-harm to seek help. The 24-hour National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can be reached at 1-800-273-8255. Please visit YouNow's Trust page for other international emergency hotlines. So, I mean, that's been updated. That whole section has been updated, including hacks, doxing, and swats. So, just to go over those, I mean, pretty much we all know what it means to hack into somebody's computer. Doxing, just so you are aware what doxing is, because there are people that confuse it. Doxing is taking an individual, let's say a broadcaster, finding out their personal information, where they live, their phone number, their full name, stuff like that, and then taking that information to either threaten them, put it out onto the internet so everybody is aware and knows the personal information. And that can be dangerous too. Let's say somebody is trying to stalk you and now they know where you live because someone purposely put it on social media to do this. So, you know, doxing is a serious thing. And swatting we just talked about. So those are the three items that were updated in YouNow's rules and guidelines. Hey, Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you again. Good to see you. And you may be able, Phoenix, you may be able to shed some light too on some of this terminology. It's perfect that you just came in. We are talking about the rules and guidelines that YouNow has updated, which includes violent behavior by people to hack, dox, or swat live broadcasts. And we just gave the definitions to those. No sexually explicit content, nudity, or abrasive behavior. Sexual dance is not okay. Are you a great dancer? Awesome. Entertain your audience, but please avoid sexually suggestive moves such as grinding, twerking, or mimicking sex. If you aren't sure, err on the side of caution. Do not broadcast sexual content or nudity. This includes content displayed in other apps during your broadcasts, including Parler, Partyline, Base Chat, Omegle, and other apps used for chat. Not a problem. No, not a problem. So, you know that some broadcasters use Omegle when they're broadcasting. Can't do it. Remember that you are a community leader and an example to others. Encouragement of nudity or sexual conduct is prohibited by YouNow. Users are not allowed to use vulgar, profane, or sexually explicit language on camera or in the chat. Now, you know this, you've seen it before, you've heard it before. If this happens, you are subject to suspension or permanent ban. Now, every person that is monitoring this platform, it's gonna be perception when they see it. That's a funny one. Any display of offensive or sexually explicit images on camera, perform sexual or sexually suggestive acts, show sex toys on screen, or dance in a sexually suggestive manner. Reported content will be reviewed based on context, commentary, attire, environment, camera angle, and focus, as well as other information, including but not limited to broadcast titles, custom thumbnails, and profile descriptions. Stricter rules for those under 18. This is new. Users of all genders under the age of 18 must be fully clothed on camera. Any user under the age of 18 without a shirt may be subject to suspension or permanent ban. This means no underwear, lingerie, or revealing tops or shorts. Users of all ages may not expose genitalia in any way. So that is an update, because before, people, especially guys, wouldn't have shirts on. This is an update. Next section is bullying, harassment, or hate speech is not permitted. Though we encourage YouNow users to express themselves freely within the community guidelines, upholding respect for all community members is paramount. Users who taunt, bully, use hate speech, or engage in any other form of harassment risk being suspended or permanently banned. Remember the golden rule and always be kind. YouNow will review any reported content or activity based on its intent and context. Vulgar language used on broadcast and in chat is against the rules. Cursing out other users isn't just unprofessional, it is abusive. YouNow defines bullying as any behavior that is intended to be hostile, aggressive, abusive, coercive, or threatening to hurt another individual physically, mentally, or emotionally. Examples may include abusive or offensive language towards others, especially when it is used with the intention to intimidate or harass. Offensive and repeated name calling with the intent to embarrass or harm someone. Telling someone to hurt or kill themselves with the intent to encourage self-harm. Creating user accounts dedicated to harassment or hate, when people have a second account and they use that account to do these things. Disclosing someone's personal information against their will with the intent to harm or embarrass them. That's doxing. Encouraging harassment of others. YouNow prohibits using the platform to facilitate hateful conduct or harassment. We may take action against users for hateful conduct or harassment that occurs off YouNow services that is directed at YouNow users. Meaning if you go to Twitter or Facebook, you can still be suspended or banned. Those are the big updates that are on this update. So I would strongly go in, read this, because a lot of people don't read these things. There is a section here on doxing. It says, revealing an individual's personal information, including email addresses, real names, location, ID, phone numbers, home addresses, and others is forbidden, and we strongly recommend that you keep your personal information private. That is right there. That's the whole thing of doxing. And then everything else that's in here is just updated terminology for other things like copyright infringement, prank calling authorities, stuff like that. And again, that was updated on August 28th of 2018, which was just last week. So definitely take a look at it. You can Google search YouNow rules and guidelines update 2018 and it'll come up for you. So that is what's going on in the platform and what's going on in the country here. And we will keep you updated definitely on the animal shelter situation and let you know further what's going on. So I want to thank you guys definitely for being here tonight. You guys are awesome. Thank you again, and I'll see you next week.